the day has come. We're going to be talking about the Baywatch reboot movie. Is it in order like all of the previous reviews have been? No. But will you care in 2037 when I'd actually get to it? Nope. This movie has been in development hell for years. Not that I've kept a close watch on it, but if there's some Baywatch news, people are going to send it my way. And this was around 2013 when that started happening, and so that's been my past 4 years of Twitter notifications. And when this was first sent to me, it was a project starring Bill Hader, something which obviously changed after somebody realized, wait a second, this is a remake of a beloved property that doesn't star The Rock? A grave error has been made! Obviously, Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron are the biggest stars involved here. I'm sure you're aware of who they are. I'm not going to go too deep into the rest of the cast, but there's some familiar faces and some not so familiar. This was directed by Seth Gordon, executive producer for The Goldbergs. He also did a documentary about world record arcade game scores called The King of Kong: A Fistful of Quarters, which I found really enjoyable and would recommend. And, this is written by the co-writers of Freddy vs. Jason? And produced by Eli Roth? It's worth noting that outside of the two script writers, there's 4 people credited for the story. One of those people is Reno 911 co-creator Robert Ben Garant, who was originally slated to direct. So it looks like we're going to be watching a Frankenstein movie pieced together from many different things, folks. If you're wondering if it's noticeable that 6 different people developed this, yes it is. So let's dive right in, and yes, this is 2 hours long. Am I gonna watch the extended cut? Nope! Time for that Baywatch summer fun. Oh, well, this is violent. Oh yeah, this movie is a hard R, like Baywatch was always intended to be. If a 21 Jump Street R-rated revival was unexpectedly successful. So forewarning, there's gonna be some willies in this.
Oh man, Mitch, why are you here?
I'm always here.
'Cause nights will never be the same.
I hope you're ready for some wrong-sounding voices, because I ain't got that big of a range, folks. So this is our new Mitch Buchanan, played by Dwayne Johnson, a larger-than-life lifeguard lieutenant who is basically a superhero everyone loves. Stop me if this sounds familiar.
Are you Batman?
You saved my sister's life.
Saved my nan's life. I heard he invented Google and gave it all to charity.
And I heard he invented the cure for the common cold.
He ain't Superman, he's a damn county lifeguard.
The 2 main characters of this movie are Mitch and Matt Brody, aka Eyebrows, but I'm just gonna call him Matt because he doesn't have that sweet eyebrow action. He rides a motorcycle, and that's about all he has in common with his TV counterpart. He's mostly an amalgamation of different traits of the generic pretty boys they'd put on Baywatch proper. You can also see shades of Ryan Lochte in this, because it was topical for a brief 15 seconds.
Are you dyslexic?
I'm Caucasian.
Anywho, Matt is a gold medal Olympic swimmer who's been forced to do community service as a lifeguard after some drunken swimming binges. I don't know about you, but the person I want most to have my life in their hands is someone who is legally obligated to do it because of drunken misconduct.
Hey, I'm Matt Brody.
Not a single fuck was given.
Classic Baywatch. Is there a reason all of the lifeguards are assholes before he's done anything? No. Do we side with them? No, because they're assholes.
Yeah, 'cause I don't give a shit. A lot of oceans in Iowa?
No, just ponds and lakes and cocky pretty boys, apparently. Hey, Mitch, what happened to that last pretty boy recruit we had?
He died.
R.I.P.
Someone died. It is kinda like my Baywatching dialogue, but, for real.
Yes, absolutely, and we still don't give a fuck.
Ah, so likable. There are many Baywatch characters here from the show, but hey, how about we meet a movie exclusive? This is Ronnie. Ronnie is a big fat wiener. I don't dislike the guy, but honestly, Hannibal Buress is so much funnier as his friend Dave. I kinda wish he'd been cast in the Ronnie role.
And you handled it really smoothly.
Really?
Fuck no, that was awkward. It was horrible.
Fuck.
Ronnie is the schlubby guy who has a crush on the lifeguard that's out of his league. You know where all of this is going. Said lifeguard is CJ Parker, and I can sum up her role in this movie as such.
I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Wow, remember when this was literally the only Baywatch joke in the 90s? I'm glad to see this on the big screen in 2017. And this is about all you're gonna get out of this character. Pamela Anderson's CJ Parker was a hippy-dippy, new-agey, big into the environment kind of person. She wanted to stop oil drilling and save the whales and all that. Had the tendency to fall for the wrong guys too hard, too fast. Here, CJ is girl. She has boobs and a butt. Don't believe me? Here's her butt. Mitch and CJ were the faces of Baywatch, and you'd never know from this that her character had any significance. Ronnie has a more fulfilling role than she does. That girl there was Summer, by the way, as you could tell by the nothing about her. She sure is a lifeguard. Her personality is girl. She has boobs and a butt. That was Stephanie. She's a lifeguard lieutenant. Her personality is girl. She has boobs and a butt. You see what I'm getting at? You know, the Baywatch show might be mostly about babes in swimsuits, but the characters did have, like, identities. I hesitate to call them strong female characters, but they did drive the show and have motivations and move plots forward. Not so in Baywatch 2017. They do get to do a little toward the end, but otherwise you'll be hard-pressed to find a woman outside of the villain who has anything to do with anything that isn't following a man's lead. And even then, that's because her character was originally written for a man. The Baywatch movie seemed to have thought that slow-motion boobs couldn't drive the whole thing, so they asked, well, what if we reversed that and just made it about wing-wang doodles?
Huge dick.
Big dick.
Hey, how's your dick?
And my balls say we need to go over there and check it out.
My balls say, it's just thinking he's right.
Hey, speaking of dingle-dongs, did you want an extended sequence of Ron Zones getting his erection stuck in the slats of a chair?
Don't you touch my dick, I'm okay!
You just wasted 2 minutes of my life. Mitch goes to Captain Thorpe to tell him he thinks Matt being on their team is a bad idea, but Thorpe insists this is a good PR opportunity for them. Why do county lifeguards need PR? Hot dog rookies aren't Mitch's only concern, though. He's worried about the rise of a new street drug called Flocka. This will serve as our main plot, so keep an eye on that. Meanwhile...
Why does she always look like she's running in slow-mo?
Even funnier the second time! Anywho, Mitch agrees to let Matt join the team as long as he passes tryouts, a bargain which I don't think he's qualified to make with his literal boss, but whatever. After a few jabs back and forth, Matt agrees to compete against Mitch in the course. Tired of this dick measuring competition yet? No! Anyway, a real life or death situation takes place during the tryouts, and Matt drives through a crowd of people on his motorcycle to get to them. It's only too responsible. By the way, my shirt magically appeared. I guess I'm the original Matt voice because the French one doesn't make sense.
No hot dog tactics on my beach.
They manage to rescue the drowning people, and Matt learns a harsh lesson about the realities of lifeguarding. Also, Ronald and Summer make it on the team. Next.
Hey, High School Musical.
I think you mean Mike and Dave need wedding dates? Matt is going through a rough time. He went from a hero to a laughingstock, and now he's homeless and living under lifeguard towers like a real Eddie. Look at the mean things people are saying. Why does this D-bag have so many abs? Whoa! Oh no, now he's gotta stay with Mitch. What a hilariously mismatched duo. Mitch with his cocky attitude and muscles, and Matt with his cocky attitude and muscles. This is just too much. Okay, honestly, a tiny Mitch in his fish tank? That's pretty much exactly something Hasselhoff Mitch would do. And it keeps changing inexplicably through the movie. That's hilarious. It's probably the funniest joke in the film. And hey, this time around, he doesn't even have to say Hobie's with his mother because he doesn't exist. No son of a Mitch for this son of a Mitch. During a short training montage, Mitch drops Chekhov's sea urchin on us.
That is the devil's urchin. One prick out of that thing will give you enough adrenaline to choke out a pissed off bull. The only problem is, after that, you say some crazy ass shit and then you fucking die.
It'll be perfect for the action scene later.
What's this? A romance between Robbie and CJ? Pass. Well, hey, how about a romance between Matt and Summer?
Do you just, look at my boobs?
Pass. This brings me to the film's villain, Victoria Leeds, who has actually had a couple scenes prior to this during which nothing interesting happens. And that's sort of a problem because she drives the plot of the movie. She runs a resort on the beach called the Huntley, which she uses as a front to sell flocka and make big bucks. She wears fancy clothes and talks about how she's worked her way to the top as a woman, which sounds more riveting than how it's played. Here's a sample.
Calling me a drug dealer, it's so much bigger than that, you know? Leon, teach him some manners.
After a councilman refuses to help her with a real estate deal that has to do with wanting to make the beach private that is also not that exciting, she has him killed. Oh yeah, this movie has a body count. Specifically 5, thanks IMDb trivia. Which, again, is pretty true to the show.
I love being creepy.
You gonna be cool and go talk to her like a real man? Or you gonna stand up here and be creepy creeperton?
Hey, I don't want to be overstating my importance here, but did the screenwriters watch Baywatching before they wrote this? Did they? Hey guys, if you're viewing this, send me a shout out. Not to be a creepy creeperton or anything.
Mitch, we gotta rest.
Up, no significance for you.
While the girls wait around as backup, Mitch and Matt drive out to rescue a boat on fire. That's right, it cost $69 million to look this bad.
69? Nice. Pretty necessary CGI, right?
I gotta tell you guys, it's bizarre seeing something Baywatch related with this much money behind it. Women tossing! Unfortunately for Mitch, one of the passengers is the already dead councilman. But when he spots some flocka, he begins to suspect not all is what it seems. Time for P.I. Mitch Buchanan to get on the case. He immediately starts the investigation, which doesn't please Garner too much.
Come on, Ellaby, don't give me any of that jurisdiction shit.
No, I won't. Because technically, you don't have a jurisdiction. Lifeguard, you got one job. Make sure swim-happy white people don't drown.
Their entire relationship is based on Garner getting annoyed that lifeguards keep doing things lifeguards don't do. It's pretty great. Thanks, Robert. Honestly, I have a lot of problems with this movie, but they do have some pretty funny references to Baywatch itself. For instance, take this scene where they just list off a bunch of real Baywatch plots verbatim.
School of Manta Ray in the Cove?
You call animal control?
How about sand grifters running a con on the beach, right?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what a sand grifter is, Stephanie, but I would probably call the cops.
How about diamond smugglers who are putting the rocks and surfboards and bringing them ashore?
Oh my god, when I saw this on the big screen, I was living. But this can't all be laughs aplenty. The audience is betrayed when they find out Dave was working for Leeds. Dun dun dun! No, Dave! Not our good buddy Dave! Oh my god, Dave! Dave! Because the drugs were found near the Huntley, the Baywatch crew shows up at a party there to snoop around.
I sense trouble.
But droning monotonous whispers are actually really good for emotionally manipulating someone. Leeds figures something is fishy and stirs up Matt's mixed feelings about his situation to get him to drink.
I grew up in a foster home.
Making me a sex symbol! Time for a distraction, featuring the party scene from every 2010s comedy movie you've ever seen. No. This gives Mitch and Stephanie time to look around in the back.
Looks like I'm finally becoming a character, Mitch.
Whatever, Stephanie, pretend to make out with me.
Wow, does this mean we're romantic interests?
Nope.
That makes me feel neither here nor there.
Guess I was killed off screen. That sucks. Being a lifeguard means being part of a team, Matt. It means being our lookout when we try to investigate a drug lord / beach club owner. There's no Matt in team, but there is a Mitch.
I'm just standing here because I'm a loose extension of Matt's character, but I have nothing to add.
Looks like I've learned a valuable lesson.
You talking about this metal?
That's polluting.
Now that the emotional part has been taken care of, the investigation continues as they sneak into a morgue to look at the councilman's body. Here they discover his cause of death doesn't line up and he was actually murdered. And this is where we get into the really hard R of the movie, because we're going to be spending an extended amount of time with a dead dude's dong.
I need you to check his taint for needle marks.
You want me to check his taint?
And get closer.
Oh, God, it stinks.
Posting that.
Do not post that. The internet is forever.
Just a handful of ball sack.
I hate it. I hate it, Baywatch 2017. I hate this scene, and I hate that you put it in. If I can get critical for a moment during the big Ganacho scene, this is probably what I dislike most about this movie. While I can get blue on Baywatching, what I find funniest about the show is the seemingly contradictory juxtaposition of TV cheesecake and family-friendly values. It's really at war with itself as to who it wants to appeal to, so they have plots about Hobie befriending a misunderstood giant, but also fan-servicey montages featuring lots and lots of bazookas. I'm a firm believer that simply adding more cursing and nudity can't be the extent of the joke. And unfortunately, that's what a good chunk of this movie relies on. I actually found the edited version of the trailer funnier than the actual jokes in the movie. And while I appreciate that they didn't simply show women's breasts because they could, just switching them out for wangs doesn't make it any funnier.
Lifeguard.
I'm a doctor! And he's a lifeguard!
Skipping over that scene to something that's actually funny, the two goons that showed up to cover their tracks are chased down by Mitch and company, and that leads to a showdown in a child's bedroom.
Wait, hey. No baby pictures.
Have some class.
You're right.
That's good stuff!
That's because we were in lifeguard pursuits.
Oh, okay. My bad. Except for there's no fucking such thing as lifeguard pursuit.
Why is Garner consistently the best character in Baywatch? The biggest tragedy was not getting a cameo from Gregory Allen Williams. Anyway, here's something to make this movie an unnecessary 2 hours long. Just repeat everything twice.
Police do investigations. When you do it, it's just a bunch of guys investigating another bunch of guys. No offense.
You're included in that.
How do I explain
I'm
this so
explain this
that
to you in the
people
way that
understand?
you people?
Why didn't we just do that scene twice? Whatever, let's do another undercover scene.
Undercover. Yeah, a little too undercover. How the fuck do we wear makeup, dude?
Put that in slow motion and we got ourselves the most original joke of the year! Drugs, investigate, let's move this plot along, people! Due to negligently leaving a tower unattended, and not because, of all the illegal stuff he's been doing, Mitch is told to turn in his swim trunks.
Turn in your trunks, Mitch.
Mitch is fired, Matt is on the outs because Thorpe forced him to take Mitch's old job, everyone is at their lowest. But you know what? When some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light, don't you worry, everything's gonna be alright. Because David Hasselhoff is cameoing! Oh yeah! Hey, I just want to point out that this was one of 2 big-budget theatrical movie cameos for Hasselhoff this summer. So welcome back, Hoff! And unlike most remake movie cameos, the Hoff is here to actually move the plot forward. He plays Mitch's mentor, and he's the one who convinces him to stop feeling sorry for himself, get back on the sand, and save the beach.
Mitch?
Yes, Mitch.
Wait. Okay, It's a remake where Mitch Buchanan is mentored by David Hasselhoff, who is also Mitch Buchanan. So I guess this is a world where the show and the movie exist, and everyone has the same name. So is this like a Star Trek reboot situation? Has Mitch altered the timeline? Are we in a Groundhog Day loop wherein the events of Baywatch are cursed to repeat themselves? Did he hop dimensions? Are there many different versions of Baywatch and Mitch can slide between them? Is he in sliders? Is this the Upside Down? What's happening? The sand grifters joke from earlier was important, by the way, as Matt spots one of them in an actual plot from the show that includes a cooler with a trick bottom. This gives him an idea. Using the cooler himself, he's able to sneakily steal the case files off of Garner's desk. After discovering Dave was also killed under mysterious circumstances, the movie suddenly remembers Ronald McDonald is A, part of this film, and B, a tech guy, I guess. So he hacks into Leeds' something and uncovers some dirt.
Dirt? What the hell are we supposed to do with dirt, Ronnie?
And then evidence.
Alright, I guess I'm only stupid when the audience forgets that's supposed to be part of my character. I'm Ronnie! Anyway, in order to find a councilman Leeds wants to kill, the gang must go to a party. Rule of twos, this movie. And hey, CJ and Stephanie can be involved again because it requires walking in slow motion in party dresses.
We love being characters.
What the fuck is going on?
Come save us, Matt and Mitch. How about a real man?
Oh no, now I'm a hostage. This movie is no homo, just like Baywatch. Look guys, I know Baywatch was the 90s, but even they didn't use mouth-to-mouth resuscitation for gay jokes. Thank God it wasn't really Summer though, otherwise she would have been responsible for 2 things that weren't directly on Mitch's orders, and we wouldn't want that. Can Ropey figure out whatever tech mumbo-jumbo they need in time? Better use CJ as a motivator for our real hero, Dumpy Comic Relief. Oh no, not Mitch! Our main character can't die! Looks like he's done for.
He's dead.
Because of you.
Of course because of me.
But wait, remember that improbable adrenaline-surging deadly sea urchin that could pump him up into a super Mitch? Come on the TV show rating, this falls on about a 5 out of 10 on the outlandish scale.
I don't know, that seems a little complicated.
Let's blow up the villain with some fireworks.
I'm oceanic, motherfucker.
How tacky.
You guys didn't seriously try to make the oceanic thing a hashtag for this movie's promos, did you? Time to make it easy. Mitch gets medical attention, Garner apologizes to them, Thorpe was corrupt the whole time because he really cared about Captain Thorpe, our couples couple up, and the movie's got a wrap. But now that Captain Thorpe is gone, who's gonna replace him?
I want to introduce you to our new captain, the amazing Captain Casey Jean.
Whoa! I'm glad that wasn't spoiled in the opening credits where she got billing over David Hasselhoff despite not having any lines or doing anything funny, and obviously having shot this last minute over the course of an hour is an obligation, or else this might seem kind of disappointing.
This'll look great in the trailer.
But can Matt drop a can like Court? I don't think so. Baywatch 2017 was a theatrical flop, so I wouldn't really be expecting a sequel anytime soon. And for me personally, I don't know, I'm mixed. This is about 3 or 4 movies all in one, and some of them I liked, other ones I couldn't stand. When the movie actually spoofed the material outside of the gimme slow motion jokes, I did get some laughs. I just wish they hadn't gone for the R rating, because I think that tends to make comedies nowadays lazy, and this was highly improvised and relied heavily on cursing and gross-out humor. And while I can get behind them spotlighting some unknowns, it'd be nice if the women, had stuff to do. The problem really with a Baywatch comedy movie is that Baywatch the show is already funny. You have to go more over the top than the TV series did, and I don't feel like they really got there. They have some funny leads, but the material is a mixed bag. Did I hate it? No, but I can't say I loved it. David Hasselhoff's cameo was hilarious though, even if slightly confusing. If you're curious, I'd maybe check it out on Netflix. But for me, I'm happy with sticking to the reunion movie, clearly the superior film. Nice try, Hollywood. Baywatch beats you again.
Fuck!
Next time on Baywatch, it's the 100th episode of Baywatching! Happy 100, y'all!